to another video on the Sports Perspective TV. And as you can tell from the title of the video, we're going to be talking about the West Indies Championship, the sixth round of the West Indies Championship. It concluded yesterday. And so we're going to be, reviewing the results of the matches. So all the matches, had a result. Someone won all the matches that were played. There was a lot of runs scored, a lot of centuries, a lot of good bowling performances as well. And I'm going to just review it and, kind of see what these results mean, for these players and even, look forward to the next round as well. And also, what, the results and the runs that were scored mean for the players as they vie for a spot in the West Indies team. So stick around to the end of the video as I'll get into the details. But as usual, always remember, if this is your first time tuning into the channel, then, would definitely appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, like the video, and always share your thoughts in the comment section. Right. So the West Indies Championship, it finished yesterday, the sixth round. And the matchups in the round where, Guyana went up against Jamaica. Barbados went up against the Leeward Islands. The Winward Islands, they went up against the West Indies Academy, and Trinidad and Tobago, they went up against the combined colleges and campuses. Right. So results in the match. So we see where, Guyana defeated Jamaica by, it was a huge margin, by over 200 runs, 212 runs to be exact, was the margin of victory for Guyana over Trinidad. Barbados also defeated the Leeward Islands. No, so Guyana defeated Jamaica, sorry. Barbados defeated the Leeward Islands. Trinidad and Tobago, they defeated the combined colleges and campuses. And the Winward Islands, they defeated the West Indies Academy. So starting with the Jamaica-Guyana match, we see where, so scores in the match. Guyana batting first, they posted a total of 424 in their first innings, and Jamaica in reply were only able to score 153. Guyana then batted the second time, and they made 147 for 4 declared, and then they bowled out Jamaica for 206 runs. Hence the such a huge margin of victory. But some key performances for Guyana in that match was, Kemal Savory. He scored 155 runs. So well done to that young batsman there in the match against Jamaica. We also see where Tevin Imlak, he scored a century as well, scoring 101 runs in the match. And those were the two highest scorers for Guyana in the match. And from a bowling perspective, we see where Versame Permal, he took 5 for 55 in Jamaica's first innings, to bowl them out for 153. And those were, some of the notable performances in the match. Gudakesh Moti as well, known for his bowling mostly, but he scored a half century in the match as well against Jamaica. So, those were some of the notable performances for Guyana in the match. And to be honest, Jamaica, it was a dismal performance from Jamaica, right? So there aren't any performance from anyone on the Jamaican team, notable of mention. And I'll say OJ Shields, he took 4 wickets, so that's a young fast bowler. So I'll mention him, but other than that, there wasn't much to talk about from the Jamaican team. It was just a very disappointing performance by them. So the next match, Winward Islands, versus the West Indies Academy. The Winward Islands, they won the match. And so some notable performances from them, of course, the West Indian batsman Alric Athanaze, he made 89 in the Winward second innings, which, helped them to secure victory in the match, and like I always say, it's good to see players that are in the West Indies team, scoring runs in the championship, because we know that the championship now is preparation for them, for the next test series that they'll have come up, which will be against England, coming up in the summer. So it's always good to see, West Indian players scoring runs in the championship. And as a West Indian fan, always hoping that whatever form they display in our domestic championships can be, transferred to the West Indies team whenever, if and when they do get an opportunity to play for the West Indies. And Atenes is one that I can say assuredly he will be a part of the West Indies team. Just based on his performance in the Australia tour, he will be a part of the West Indies team. So it's good to see him performing. Other notable performances as well was Shamar Springer. He scored, didn't get a half century or anything, but he had two decent innings. So he made 47 in one innings and 31 in the second innings, to help guide the Winward Islands to victory. So a brilliant performance by Shamar Springer as well. And bowling, we see where Gillan Tyson, he took 5 for 50 for the Winward Islands. So a brilliant bowling performance by that youngster right there for the Winward Islands. There were a lot of runs scored in this round, but definitely want to highlight the good bowling performances as well, because you don't want the bowling performances to get lost in the amount of runs that were scored. So definitely want to highlight the good bowling performances in the round, and this was one of those performances. Taking 5 wickets, for 50 runs. So well done to that young player there, and hopefully he can just go from strength to strength and can continue and develop some consistency and just continue taking wickets for his team. And the Winward Islands, they are performing very well. And as a matter of fact, based on the results of this round, I think they have, overtaken the Leeward Islands and are now leading the championship. But I'll do a more in-depth video on the standings in the future, and kind of go over the point standings as they are currently. But with this victory over the West Indies Academy, the Winward Islands are definitely, leading the standings right now, because they so they had first innings, so they had first innings lead and they won the match. So, and the Leewards lost their match against Barbados. So the Winward should be leading the championship right now. So well done to the Winward Islands. Very good performance. And they're leading. So you can tell that, they have been consistent, throughout the tournament. So definitely have to, say a big shout out to the Winward Islands, for their consistent performance throughout the championship so far. So well done to the Winward Islands again, and hopefully they can continue with their brilliant form. And I want to see some more West Indian batsmen scoring runs. So Kavim Hadj was in this match. He's performed for them, over the years, and even in the earlier rounds, but he didn't really do much in this match. So we'd definitely love to see Kavim Hadj score some runs as well, because he's another West Indies player that's playing for the Winwards. So want to see him score some runs. Wanted to see him score some runs in the round. It didn't happen, but I'm sure he'll come good in the next round for the Winward Islands. But nevertheless, they were still able to secure a victory, which it goes to show that the Winwards is a very deep team, with a lot of talented players. So well done to the Winward Islands on their victory over the West Indies Academy. So then moving to the Trinidad match. So Trinidad and Tobago versus the combined colleges and campuses. So Trinidad, scored a massive total, 591 in their first innings. With brilliant performances from, Amir Django. He scored 218 runs in the first innings. So brilliant batting by him, and also, scoring 100 was Jason Mohammed as well. He scored 157 runs in the first innings as well. And Joshua De Silva, the West Indies wicket keeper, he also he scored a half century, so he scored 79 runs. So it was like I always say, it's good to see West Indian players getting some runs in the championship. So Joshua Da Silva played a brilliant innings as well, but the main batsmen in the innings were Amir Django and Jason Mohammed. Notable performances with the ball for Trinidad as well was Anderson Phillip. He took 5 for 71. To help Trinidad, secure victory. So brilliant bowling performance by him, and he's another young fast bowler that's been in and around the West Indies team. Been affected by a few injuries, but he's back fit now and doing well in the domestic competition. So we'll see how that goes for him. When it's time for the selectors to announce the team that they're bringing to England. Notable performances for the combined colleges and campuses. We see where Yannick Atley, he scored a half century. Damel Evelyn, he scored 73 as well. And Damario Richards, he scored a half century. And the young bowler Amari Goodrich, he took 5 wickets in one of the innings as well. He took 5 for 92 in one of the innings for the combined colleges and campuses. So even though they didn't win the match, they were good performances by numerous players on their team, which is what you want to see as a West Indian fan. That's what you want to see. You even if a team loses the match, you want to see good performances from players on the team. So it was a decent performance by some of the players from the combined colleges and campuses. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to help them to win the match, but very good to see as a West Indian fan that wants the best for West Indies cricket. The Barbados versus Leeward Islands, that was another high scoring match. A lot of runs were scored in that match. Barbados, scoring over 500 runs as well, with centuries from the West Indies captain, Craig Brathwaite. He made 189 in the first innings. Also scoring a century was Zachary McCaskey and Ruston Chase. Ruston Chase, he made a century as well. But Ruston Chase also performed with the ball, so in total, he took 10 wickets in the match with the ball. So it was a brilliant all-round performance by Ruston Chase, both performing with the bat and with the ball. And Chase, if you're familiar with West Indies cricket, you're familiar with Ruston Chase. Very reliable. Sometimes as West Indians fans, we definitely want to see more from him with the bat, because we know he has talent, but the consistency is not there. But from time to time, he puts in brilliant performances both with the bat and with the ball for West Indies, and that's what he did for Barbados in this round of the championship. So well done to Barbados. Craig Brathwaite, Zachary McCaskey, Ruston Chase, they showed up and did their thing. Also Casey Carty, the young West Indian batsman for the Leeward Islands, he showed up as well and did very well. He scored 127 and also had a half century in the second innings. He made 69 in the second innings. Some other notable performances for the Leewards were Louis, he scored 80. And the young West Indies under 19 batsman Joel Andrew, he had a half century as well, scoring 53 runs in one of the innings for the Leeward. So overall, like I said, a lot of runs were scored in this match, so there were a lot of notable performances, and with the ball, Rakeem Cornwall, he took, 5 for 132 in the Trinidad's first innings. So another 5-wicket haul, notable of mention, and he definitely would have loved if he didn't concede as much runs as he did. But nevertheless, he took 5 wickets. So that's definitely, you have to mention the performance of Rakeem Cornwall as well in the match, right? Yeah, and so that's all. And so in the Winward Islands match, Joshua Bishop, he took 8 wickets in the match for the West Indies Academy, a notable performance. And more so, so 8 wickets in the match is very good, but Joshua Bishop is actually the leading wicket taker currently in the championship. The last time I checked, he took I think 37 wickets so far. So he's definitely been consistent, with as far as wicket taking is concerned for the West Indies Academy. So I definitely wanted to mention, Joshua Bishop as well. Leading wicket taker, and he had a brilliant performance with the ball, in the match. So definitely wanted to mention that about Joshua Bishop as well. So yeah, so all in all, it was a brilliant a brilliant round of cricket. It's very rare that you have a round of cricket played, and all the matches had results. Normally, especially in 4-day cricket, either you have a draw somewhere in one of the matches, but all matches had results. So all matches had winners and losers. So that's definitely good to see. And just that goes to show that not only were batsmen doing their thing, but bowlers showed up and performed as well. So that's all I have for you for this video. But as usual, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Which performance was your favorite performance of the round? Definitely share your thoughts in the comment section and let me know. And so yeah, so that's all I have for you in this one, viewers and subscribers. Again, Sports Perspective TV. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.